Well, I think obviously a result that is, well, we are in the half of the match, so mostly I think that we could have built a different situation, more comfortable. Obviously, we sit in a discomfortable place now, but still half of the job, so of the time played. So all expectations regarding second match. Anyway, I think we started well the match, trying to take the responsibility, and up to the moment that the goalkeeper had to be substituted, the team was very comfortable with the ball, trying to look for the spaces. Obviously, a very narrow, very tight, a very golden arrows closing everything they tried to, and they could. We knew where the spaces could be created and how to take the ball and attack them through those spaces. Those 7 minutes to substitute a player, obviously, and assist and substitute broke a little bit the focus that we were having, what obviously should not happen. And in that period, we suffered two transitions, two counter-attacks, the two truly dangerous ones, and out of one of them, we make mistakes on both, but on the one that gave the goal, it's a mistake similar to the one we did in shifts, where we were balanced in attack and we lose the ball and we jump in the front with numbers to try to aggress a player that should be in balance, and we open a space for the diagonal of De Jong and the kick on the goal. Obviously, it brings a lot of brought the instability, and we could not finish the first half picking the pace and picking the rhythm that we wanted. So at halftime, the talk was in order to reorganize the team, to try to make the team believe that obviously the game was there. Just out of one shot on target there was a goal, and I think it's the only shot on target all the match from golden arrows. But football is exactly like that, is profiting from the moments you create. I think with the team that there was clear some here and then a little bit of players that are still trying to pick the pace, but the intention from the bench was obviously to renew the energy, bring new energy, try to bring players that could give something. We fought all the second half for a goal. There's a lot of shots that the goalkeeper saved. He made a very good game. Also a lot of shots that didn't touch the target, because I think we should. In the end, there was 14 shots on not on target, but a lot of bodies in front. So arrows dropped deep due to our intensity and capacity to continuously try to seek a goal. And I think a little bit of miss of fortune didn't give us a goal in the match. But obviously not the best result. But as I said, we are in half of the way. So let's see what we can bring then on the next weekend. But for now, we need to think about the match on the middle of the week, of course.
Maybe coach will take business from the floor. I don't know who will start. Any takers? So
good evening, coach. I just wanted to ask you that. Sorry, this is Tanto from Kickoff. Normally, cup games are more than just tactics, and they require players to play more with the heart. Did you feel that you got the most out of the players in terms of playing with the heart? How much do they want it?
Sundowns players play always with the heart, because they know what it is to represent this club and the greatness that is to represent this institution. So the question is how much heart you can put in a moment you are playing, obviously. Today I spoke in the locker room about power, that it was important, and probably that's something that you are speaking about, how much power you put in everything that you do. Because it means about the energy in every action, everything you do. The way we had to be strong on not allowing golden arrows to make these 3-4 counter-attacks that could give them goals, because we knew that the rest we would control with the ball. And that power, if it was consistent throughout the match, would be strength, and then strength, yes, would make us the team we wanted to be. There's more power to put still. It will come, but I think the team was committed and fought until the end, and that is the character that we need to have. So what we need now is to understand that character will speak for us in the next match, because at halftime we are losing, but still already this season we are losing matches at halftime and we won in the end. So that's what we need to do, is go on the second half and play to win and not make the same mistakes, because if we continue to make mistakes that we detect, that we show, we speak, we correct, we make them understand, and we continue to do, of course, that will speak also badly about us. But I think the team will for sure give a good answer on the second match.
Coach, can I ask you a more technical question about the right back position now that Kuliso is out? You've obviously got Zuko and you've got Morena. What other options do you have in the right back position, and is it perhaps something to go shopping for in this last week that the supermarket is still open?
No, about shopping, it's not here that the place to speak about. And we have two players that are international on that position. Obviously, that Modau himself stays in another platform. We all know it's you that say that. I don't need to speak for that. But the strength of the team is the collective and not the individual. So we need to be very collective, very strong as a team in order to overcome whatever losses we have. There are also players that will come back in the next matches. So obviously, we'll make us strong. This lineup today had not even one single player that played the first 11 in the final of the Champions League. Not even one. It has been obviously difficult to be consistent on finding a lineup, but also, as you may imagine, when you play 3 days, 4 days, you also need to change players. So what we need is that the players that we give opportunities, they understand the moment and what they are going for, and they give their best so that we can consistently also, from our side, make rotation and have good answers. That's what we are looking for.
Coach, there are certain players that are not part of the injury list but haven't made the matchday squad. For example, your Rayners, your Tiki as well. Where perhaps is the disconnect with some of those players, or maybe just an insight as to what has been happening? Because, for example, Saleh, we spoke about midweek in that press conference.
The question is, who you spoke about? Ikram and? Tsiki. Okay. Ikram, if he's not on the medical report, it's because the doctor forgot. Because yesterday he appeared on the session with the flu and he could not be lined up. So he was not available for the match. Tsiki is on the process of being 100% okay. So he could have been called up. He was not by a technical option, but he's already available to be put into play when we decide so. What made us not make an option on him was that we felt that he still needs a little bit more training in order to be available. And we will always have a few players that will stay out. Also completely different situations from one and the other.
Coach Tabang from Sokanaduma. Where is the confidence of a Lebo Motiba? Because he's been here for a while, but he hasn't hit the back of the net regularly, and maybe game time hasn't he had a chance today, couldn't convert. His confidence levels, where are they, and where, as a coach, how are you helping him?
Yeah, as a coach, I'm trying to make my best for all the players. The coaching staff works very hard on showing belief to the players. And you saw how I supported him in a moment that was difficult, because he missed indeed a situation where it could have happened a goal, but it was not the only one. There were many throughout the match that didn't happen goals. And when last year or 2 years ago, when I remember a period that Lucas Ribeiro was not scoring goals, and you were always speaking about that, how he could not score and why, and then I thought one day they will come out and there will be one after the other, and it happened. Strikers is a little bit like that. Also, anyway, Lebo has not been the first option, as you know. Brian was together with Ikram, they were the first option, so it's normal when a player doesn't play so consistently that to come on a match is more difficult to pick the rhythm. Lebo is showing character. He made very good training matches and scoring on them, so he gave us all the energy. And as you may understand, Brian also came from a pre-season where he didn't had a chance to train consistently, and we played 3 matches in a row. And so it was absolutely normal that we had to rotate that player, because Brian was too tired. I think he still was too tired in the second half, not as fresh as we would like to have him, so that he could obviously, so the rotation had to do with that, just finding 45 minutes on each of them that could give intensity. That's what we looked for.
Were you there
Yes. Coach, I think 22 shots at goal and 6 of those on target, and I think most of those shots also came from Bernard Mukwana. It's not every day that we see a youngster like that not trying to get into the box and using the range in terms of shooting. Is it something that you've been encouraging? What are the other roles where you would like to use him? Because I think there's some positive play in what he's bringing. And maybe if you can touch on Sianda, do you think maybe up against a team that knows him and has been with him for some time, they found a way of how to stop him?
No, the question on Sianda, and I told that during the week, it's not the same to start a match or play from the bench. I was telling my assistant coaches that probably if you had Sianda today on the bench, he would have made 30 minutes and he could have eventually destroyed that defense that was getting tired from our continuous attacking. It's the first time Sianda starts a match since the last one he played for Arrows. So it's normal that he was not still fresh. Anyway, he also occupied spaces that were not the ones I would like him to occupy in the first half. He was too much open on the right. I think a player like him that is so decisive on dribbling should be closer to the goal so that he can find a combination and the shot, dribble and be 1-against-1 on the face of the goalkeeper or give a pass because he combines very well. But nothing to complain on the boy because I think he tried his best. The momentum from him is the starting momentum, so that's why I took out the pressure from him, and it's not today that I'm gonna put. I was not expecting much more, I confess. I think he did what he could do. In a moment where the match was very narrow, it would be much more comfortable for him that I would have kept him out and put him where the spaces were there, because you saw how Tapelo found spaces when he came on the right, how Nuno found spaces inside. But we also need to bring him up. We also need to have him ready to start matches, and we decided to expose him to that, but we knew that some moment he would have to come out. Regarding Bennett is a player that indeed has the quality to shoot a lot on target. We are just trying to make him understand from where he has to shoot or when occasions he has to shoot. Obviously that if he shoots close to the D-line he can score. If he shoots from too far away, the probability of scoring reduces to very few chance or possibility. He's discovering the way we play, he's discovering spaces, he's settling down. I think it's obviously a player that we are giving a lot of responsibility, no, because we don't charge too much, but we are giving him opportunities so that he can grow. He's also picking the momentum. Tashrik today was also very, very tired. We could not line him up from the beginning. And Tony, that can play on the left, also was not ready. So we needed and we pushed the boys because he's physically strong, and I think he coped with the momentum. He's a boy that comes from Bisky, as much as he's been the player that scored the goals he scored and the quality he showed throughout the last season. It's still a process to go on, but I think he's doing well. He's doing well.
After Nick, Lorenzo, and there's been around times of Nick and Lorenzo. As we bring it to a close with the last two questions, and then skip.
Good afternoon, Coach. Nick Leeson from Soccer Beats. You and your squad are obviously no strangers to playing two-legged fixtures. Does that, despite being 1-1 down, does that inspire any confidence or alleviate a little bit of burden heading into the second leg?
I just hope that the pain I feel today is felt by the players. Because if the pain I feel is felt by the players, there will be a lot of energy in the next weekend. Today is a very, very difficult day for me, I confess. This pain must be transformed in energy, positive energy, because there's still 90 minutes to play, plus a few minutes. And we are able to win goals to this team. We are winning to win. We are able to win, and we have to. But the character we're going to show on the pursuit of that objective will come, of course, from the energy we can take from the loss of today. Let's hope the boys understand the message. But for now, we need to concentrate a lot on how we're going to approach the Mazulu match, because it's also a very tough one.
Coach, Rayners from Mamelodi Sundowns. How long do you predict or forecast
when this team will be in, let's say, full swing with all players at optimal levels, obviously after the weird pre-season and things like that, getting players late from the World Cup. When do you think you guys will be, so supporters get potentially temper the expectations of when you can be at your best?
No, I think, and I didn't write nothing about the previous match. I didn't speak nothing about the previous match, but I heard a lot of people saying that the team was vaping already, was already in high tempo, in high rhythm. So the question is a little bit. I understand the question because I'm saying that there are still players that could be better, and they have to be better. Nuno has to be much better. Brian has to grow up a lot. So there's a lot. Teboho has to come on the team and bring his quality. There's still a lot of things to appear, of course, on the team. It's important that also we understand that rotation will always have to happen in a few players, but stability will come from having those players that can give consistency. So we need to continue to produce results, and we cannot wait too long for the players to perform. So it's important they understand that, and we are trying to do our best together so that we can find that stability. Obviously, let's hope the injuries don't stay permanently around us. But we also had in the recent past capacity to here and then change 3-4 players in the team and keep being consistent. That's what we have to do. And Aubrey is still far from his best. I think that today Marcelo was clearly a little bit more tired than usually. Well, let's see. The team will find his way for sure continuously if the support and the focus from everybody around is the positive one. Because we cannot go from here to here. It's obviously a painful day. We had expectations that after these 90 minutes we would be sitting in a position where we would be more comfortable with a victory with no goals conceded. It happened the opposite exactly. So it's a proof of character that we're going to have to show and to give. It's also a moment for the coaches to make evaluations on some of the boys, some of the things we experimented, and understand also how we're going to build a team for the future regarding consistency and capacity, of course.
Last question, Skip.
Coach Maskepe from Power FM. Just two quick ones. First, you will correct me if I'm wrong, Coach. I think since you've been here, by the Champions League, I think domestically you haven't made a cup final. How do you feel? When you are at the stage that you are now, you are trailing going to the second leg. How do you feel about that prospect? And also maybe as an added motivation to say you want to break that dark. And also, I would think you know Nuno Santos better than, I'll say, me and not we. At his best, what do you think he can give you, and what do you think is needed for him to get to that level?
Look, sometimes there are those years that we cannot expose completely. There are things that happen inside the teams that the coaches cannot speak freely about them. It has not to do only with Nuno, has to do with a lot of things. You should understand that there's obviously some capacity that we have to keep some of the things that happen stable inside of our walls. I'm not speaking about Nuno, I'm speaking about in general. The stability comes exactly from the moment that the market closes and everything starts to go from there. And you see other teams in South Africa in a moment also struggling a little bit with this kind of situations. It happens everywhere in the world because it's clear the market touches people, the market touches the connections, and that stability will also help to settle down everybody, and so that we can move forward with a clear understanding about where we are, who we can count with, and how much we need to be committed with what we do every day in order to be an important part of the build process that we want. Nuno is an extraordinary player. You know that, how he performed in the Champions League, especially throughout the group stage. He was absolutely amazing, gave us a lot of things. That is the Nuno that we saw, and when the players smile, when the players are happy, when the flow, it will bring a flow in the energy that goes aligned with the thoughts that we have, and that is what we needed to find in everybody so that the connections happen well. But this week you saw images because they came out on the press as the players put them on the social media. You saw images from our locker room. you saw the players dancing together, enjoying together. You saw them laughing together. I think today I also addressed that to the players, the energy that we needed to have, and we should sustain in terms of relations, so that we can play football like brothers. Because I always fight more for my brother than I would fight for anyone else, besides my mother and my father. Eventually, my son and my wife. What I mean is that the continuous growth of this group is important to achieve the results we want to achieve. Regarding cup finals, obviously it's something that I today also told the boys that there's something missing on us. It's really not finals, but victories on domestic cups. It's not like I heard the other day that someone said that we had nothing won inside, but yeah, we won one championship. In that season we were not able to win any cup, and last year we also didn't win any cup besides in South Africa. So obviously in the first season we just played one of them, because when we arrived the other two had been already played by the club. It's a minus, obviously. I want to put cups on my CV in South Africa, and we still can. But to make this one, we need to live the spirit of a Champions League. Today and yesterday night, I told my boys that this match today should be played like a Champions League qualifying round, where you have two matches, but the first one, and I even asked Dennis, tell the boys what we need to do so that we play this match as a Champions League. And yeah, we didn't do, but still there's 90 minutes. I just hope that spirit is embedded, it's lived by the team in the right way when we go and pick the flight to go to Golden Arrows, and we can do the second leg in the level that we need to have. But it will be tough, but it's possible, and it will be done.
Thank you, colleagues. No follow-ups.
Coach.